A Blind Legend is a game without video. In it, you play as a blind knight, accompanied by his daughter who acts as sort of a guide. We're so used to using our eyes for video games that it's easy to forget sometimes that the visually impaired cannot enjoy this favorite hobby of ours. And for a developer to try to create something different that could include that population is something praiseworthy. Though A Blind Legend could potentially be a game not just for the visually impaired, but for those looking for something different in video games as well. The way it works is very, very interesting. Or at least the way I imagine it works. It's hard to say because you just can't see anything. But I imagine it like a Skyrim. Imagine a first-person game where you walk around in a 3D space because you are free to walk and turn around, sprint in any direction you want. You can hear your footsteps, be it stepping on grass, water, dirt, whatever kind of terrain you step on, you'll hear a different sound. And whenever you press the spacebar, you'll hear your daughter giving you directions.
This way. Over here. Let's go.
It's very important that you play with headphones, obviously, so you know exactly where you are positioned in this 3D world. The game even has combat. Once you pull out your sword, you can hit one of 3 directions to swing it, and you also have a shield to block incoming attacks. Put on your headphones for this part. We're gonna go through a combat scenario, and using the sounds of our enemies, we're able to pinpoint where they are. On screen, I will add some visual aids to represent the keys that I was pressing, but these are not in the game. All you see in game is this smoke screen and occasionally the game logo whenever it is loading the next scene. So hear this out. Over time, combat gets a bit more complex, introducing multiple enemies and even timed parries, which leave enemies open to multiple attacks. Overall, A Blind Legend can be described as a linear game, an action-adventure set in the age of chivalry. There's a lot of dialogue, but not as much as you would expect. You play this game for most of the time, and while at the beginning you'll be pressing spacebar all the time to hear your daughter and where she's at, eventually you get used to it and just follow the sound of her footsteps. So you get better at the game the more you play it, even though it's challenging you in a way that no other games do. And it was very rewarding to feel this. Perhaps because we're using our imagination so much to see the people around us, to imagine the scenario, this game is extremely immersive. Though there are a couple of immersion breaking moments and some things the game could do better. The first one is the voice that says loading every time it's loading a new scene.
Loading.
The loading times are so low that I could easily do without this warning. Just cut to silence and cut back to the scene. It would be completely fine. And the other one I do not want to criticize too much, but the voice acting can be pretty terrible in this game. I imagine making a game like this, aimed mainly at the visually impaired, cannot be a profitable plan, but more of a humanitarian cause. So I imagine the budget for making this game wasn't huge, which is why I don't want to criticize its technical aspects too much. It is good enough for telling a story, and for giving the visually impaired the taste of what this favorite hobby of ours is. Even if you don't play it, A Blind Legend deserves your respect, and therefore I wanted to highlight it here on the channel. Thank you for making this game. It is a testament to what video games can be and the range of people that can enjoy it. Thank you very much.